Hi there. Welcome to our live Facebook event for Scottish Depots. On the call, we're all three volunteers in depots, and we're here tonight to share our experience of running a depot and to tell you about all the benefits that there are for you and for your local members. So it's great to have you joining us. Do pop it in the chat if you tell us where you're calling in from. It'd be lovely to know who's on the call. And at the end, we're having a question and answer session. So please put your questions in there. We would love to answer them for you. In the background, we also have Grant, who is the manager of the Girl Guiding Scotland shop. And also thank you to Sarah, who set this up for us, member of staff at Girl Guiding Scotland. So firstly, we'll do the introductions. I'm Susan. Hi, I'm a guide leader in Aberdeen, and I'm a volunteer at the guide depot here. I also have another role. I'm the ambassador for Scottish Depots, which means that I'm really keen to promote having a depot, but also I keep all the depots in Scotland connected, and we regularly meet up. So Janet, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Janet and I'm from Murray in the northeast of Scotland. We run our local depot here. I'm a leader and an advisor with Girl Guiding Murray as well. Okay, and then pass you over to Pauline.
Yes.
I'm Pauline. I'm in East Renfrewshire, although I'm seeing there's somebody from South Lanarkshire, and that's where I grew up and guided as a girl, and my mum is still there too. And I, along with my husband, run the depot in East Renfrewshire.
Great. So we're going to start, I love a quiz. We're going to start with a quick question. What I'd like to ask is how many depots there are. How many depots do you think there are in Scotland? So all volunteer depots. So I'd just be interested to know. I didn't actually know this when I started my role as depot ambassador. So we're just interested to see what you all think. So we'll wait for some messages to come through. So first of all, we're going to tell you about how we all got started. So I got started 9 years ago. There used to be a guide shop in Aberdeen, which was run by Girl Guiding Scotland. And then when it closed, we were given the opportunity to set up our own volunteer depot. So as you can see, I'm actually currently sitting in the Aberdeen depot. We were very lucky. We had a headquarters, so it seemed the ideal solution to set one up. And that got us started, and that's us 9 years on. So Janet, what about yourself? How did you get started?
I used to help another leader. It was her brainchild in Murray to start the depot, but she unfortunately passed away a few years ago. So we wanted her, carry on her legacy, if you like, in running the depot in Murray. We don't have a physical building. I run it from our local guide hall, but when Katrina ran it, she ran it from her house.
Yeah. What about yourself, Pauline?
Well, we live about 20 minutes away from where the Glasgow Guide shop used to be. And when it had to close during COVID, after that, we kind of found ourselves always online ordering, paying heaps of postage, and all the units kind of scrabbling about, all having to do the same things. So it was actually my husband said, oh, we could run a depot. And so I'm currently sitting in ours too. It is literally in the corner of our dining room, just there. So we don't have a building. It's just from our house. So a very different setup to Susan up in Aberdeen.
Yeah, so that's part of what we're going to be telling you about. The depots are all different sizes and run differently. And I'm just looking at the comments. So we've got a variety of numbers. That's fantastic. And I can tell you, we have 13 depots, volunteer depots in Scotland. So no one exactly there, but a lot of answers pretty close. So we thought we'd first of all chat about who are our customers and how do they order. So in Aberdeen, we have, because we've got the physical space and the stock here, our customers are half parents and half leaders. We actually looked at the sales. It's about half and half. So obviously parents are coming in from uniform and leaders are coming in for badges and resources. And they sometimes email us, they quite regularly email in and ask if we have things in stock before they come in, so we can put an order together for them. It's a bit like click and collect for them. But then, yes, we just we can do that for the customers. People can just pop in and buy what they need. Pauline, what about yourself? Who are your customers? And
ours are mainly leaders in our county. The majority of the time we run slightly differently. We do a kind of maybe monthly order, and leaders will email in their orders in an order form, and then we send off, and then they collect from us. But we trialed just one. We've only been running for a year, and so we trialed just in August, just with our units. We've got 4 units that I am involved with, and we ran a wee kind of pop-up uniform order shop, and the parents quite liked that, and we had uniform and merchandise stuff in, and so we're hoping to broaden that out over the county for next year. So mainly unit leaders is our one.
Fantastic. Great. And what about yourself, Janet?
Yeah, ours is mainly unit leaders as well. It used to be a mix of unit leaders and parents, but since the catalogue has stopped being produced, parents don't see it the same. But they do order through the leaders. So, but it's primarily leaders we get, and we get emails, WhatsApp, I get Facebook messages, I get it every which way. But it's really good, and we do get some direct emails from parents ordering as well. And now that we've started advertising more on, like social media within our county, that we're getting quite a lot of parents coming to us.
Yeah, the social media makes a big difference. We can put out virtual posts and get them to share. Yeah. Yes, it's great. So, Pauline, you mentioned there you order about once a month. From Aberdeen's point of view, we order once a week. We always order on a Monday afternoon. We're open Monday afternoon, Thursday and Saturday. So we have a wee routine, put the order in Monday afternoon, get it on a Thursday. So we'll have, leaders know that if something's not in stock, they can get it by the end of the week. So that really works for us. Is that similar to you, Janet? Or
yeah, we try. Well, I try to order once a week, but sometimes it's like twice a week. I'll order at the beginning and I'll order at the end, just depending on how the orders come in. But it's definitely weekly we're ordering.
Yeah, and I don't know if I said that. We get all our stock from Edinburgh. So the orders are coming from the Edinburgh. So we're supporting the Edinburgh shop too, which is great. So obviously we keep a stock of guiding, actually, and even in the corner, we've actually got scouting uniform as well. And over the years, we've kept different items in stock depending on what sells. But Janet, do you keep much stock?
We keep I keep a stock of uniform and the programme badges, some of the fun badges. So we have got stock in our Bucky Guide Hall. I keep stock there. So, and then if units want, have like parents' evenings, for instance, it's handy that I can just give them various sizes of the uniform that they can try on, and then I'll order it up for them.
That's great. Yes, because people that's one of the big things we find with parents. People like to try it on so that they get the right size.
Yeah.
And there. Yeah. Pauline, you said your shop's in the corner there. Do you keep much?
We don't keep a huge amount. We keep a small stock of the kind of like interest badges, theme awards, section awards, promise badges, things that kind of might be somebody comes during the week and goes, I didn't order enough of, help, this girl's just done that and that's got her theme award, so they can kind of come in and just pick up a one thing, and that's really handy for me as well. It's in the corner of my living room, and we just keep a wee tally of who's ordered what, or who's come and collected extra bits, and then the next time they place an order in the monthly thing, we just add it on to their invoice for that one. So yeah, we don't keep much. I've got no more space to keep uniforms. So when we did our kind of pop-up shop thing, we ordered in one of most sizes of the various things, and then we sold some, and then we returned the rest to Edinburgh afterwards for us, because just to make it easier for storage for us.
Yeah, and that's a really great way of supporting leaders and other, in the district and everything. Just the pop-up shops are good. It's good for people to see what they can buy. And in Aberdeen as well, because we have stock here, so we've had pop-up shops at our annual event. which has been great for sales. We've taken a lot of our uniform in. So leaders often, they're in for things for the units, but not necessarily for themselves. So people really appreciated the time to try on uniform, and also our training events. That was really popular, seeing the uniform. So I also know that one of the depots, they have an annual pop-up shop in a local shopping centre where at the start of term in September. So that's great. Again, just putting Girl Guiding out there. People are seeing it and remembered that the units are all starting up. So great perception as well for Girl Guiding. So obviously, one of the benefits you'll be thinking, the most obvious benefit is that we raise funds through this. So the biggest benefit is probably the fundraising. So what about, Pauline, you've been going a year, have you been using funds for anything particular?
Not yet. I mean, we've not had a huge amount of outlay in terms of buying equipment for storage, anything like that. So at the minute, we purchased the stock stuff that we had, so we had been able to do that, and we've got a small amount of money set aside. We're hopefully going to use that for like purchasing badges for girls for county events, things like that in the future. But at the minute, it's sitting there. We've just done our first set of accounts and things, so it's still to be decided. But it's great. It's amazing how quickly, even as a small depot and not doing that many orders compared to yourselves, how quickly the money actually can kind of come in, which is good.
Yeah. What about Janet? What about yourself?
Well, because we have some stock, we use some of the money, obviously, is sitting in stock for purchasing. But the other money we give leaders, they get the full discount on any uniform that they buy through us. And we do random, 10% reductions, and any special badges, like the King's coronation, and the badges for, I can't remember what the films were, at the cinema. Wish and whatnot, that we'll buy the badges for that.
So that's how we use it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great.
In any one-off badges that we're doing for county, the depot will buy them as well, like for our fun days. I think the depot purchased the fun day badges, so it's good because then everybody that uses the depot gets a benefit from all the, from the discount. It's not just going into a big pot, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's it. Right from the start, we've always given our leaders 5% discount, and it was partly to tempt them in at the start. But we do like to give them the benefits straight back as well. So it's really nice. We always just give all members, whether they're in the county or not, any members coming in gets a 5% discount. And then because we've been going a while, actually, we had built up quite a lot of funds. So during COVID, we were able to really support units with their annual subs, so that was a big one. And there's so many ways, because I know other depots use it to set up a hardship fund as well, and there's lots of different ways that you can use the funds that you raise, and like you're saying, it does add up quite quickly.
I was just going to say that, as Pauline says, it does add up.
Yeah, but there's other benefits as well. For me, there's unexpected benefits. So on a personal level, it's been great seeing the people that get involved. So we had a volunteer who worked with us for a little while and used it for work experience to get a job. She'd had a break from work, but she just wanted to get her confidence back and also some work experience. So she used volunteering in the depot. We've had Duke of Edinburgh volunteers who are fantastic. It's lovely to have them in. And then actually on a personal note, someone came in, they'd been doing guiding overseas, popped into the Edinburgh depot to find out where their daughter could be a young leader. And then by the end of the conversation, I'd found out she was a leader. So she has ever since helped at my guide unit. So that was a bonus as well. Yeah. But any unexpected benefits you found from running the depot?
We found quite a lot of units, like ourselves included. We had loads of stockpiles of random badges and bits of skills builders and things like that we had. And so we've been offering some of the units who we know are using the depot quite a lot the opportunity to kind of have a kind of buyback. So they've given us lots of their badges and their excess stock of things, which we've purchased from them in return for credit in the depot. So one of the units, she's She gave us loads of interest badges and section awards and things. She was like, why am I keeping all of these when I can just get them when I need them? And so she's just actually in this last order finished up her credit. So it's been great for her. Since I think May, she's purchased from us every month. We've done an order, but she's not actually spent any money. So it's kind of freed up the money that's actually just sitting in some units in boxes, and enabled them to actually be using it as they need it, which has been great. It's also been really useful. There were some newer leaders, and a few of them didn't quite get the program, and I got an order in and it had like 32 bronze awards, and I'm like, are you sure that's exactly what you want? And she just got really confused about what it was. She was actually, how the program actually worked. So we were able to help her out with that as well. And there just kind of various wee questions came through. So that's just been kind of just, wee bits and bobs that have just occurred and have been quite useful.
That's brilliant. I love that. Love to hear about that. Janet.
Yeah, it's just we don't really have face-to-face with the public. It'd be really good to get all these like volunteers to come in. But it's engaging with the leaders, and as Pauline says, like any queries they've got, they'll come to you and ask you what badge they should be buying or how the program works. So that's been really good. And
I would agree with
leader engagement.
Yeah, definitely. It was great for us, after COVID, because obviously we were shut, and then it was lovely for us to see that people were buying more badge books and units. We could tell units were back up and running just by the volume of sales and parents. It was really good. That was it's sort of, and also sometimes I'll get leaders in and they're buying interest badges. I'm like, how are you getting your girls to do the interest badges? So I'll be asking for tips of the program and everything.
That's really good, because when you see what they're purchasing, you can get ideas and give them ideas as well.
Absolutely. It's a two-way process. So any other comments about why you love volunteering and running your depot?
Because we're mad. No, I think it's just it's just the engagement. I think I like meeting like all the leaders, and then when you go out to like one-off events, if you're having like training events and you're doing pop-up shops and even going to units. I mean, we all used to do that a lot before COVID. Units would have parents' nights and all the parents would come. We haven't done it so much since COVID, but I think it would be a good thing to start back up again. And then, you've got the interaction with parents, and hopefully that leads to maybe them coming to volunteer.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love meeting all the leaders. I love them coming into the depot and just all the connections, and also just meeting all the volunteers, because normally with guiding, I've got my guide unit. I'm seeing the girls on a weekly basis, but I wasn't.
Yeah, but you're not seeing other leaders.
Other leaders. So I really enjoy the connections. Yeah. So I think it's time to go over to questions. So if anyone's got any questions, please put them in the chat. We would love to answer anything. I think we were chatting earlier, and one of the things we were thinking about was if you needed a physical space. So I hope we've answered that you don't actually need to have a big space to hold lots of stock. You can start a depot, just from home and out of box, literally. Yes, you just your laptop and people engaging with you. Yeah. So it just depends what resources and how big a depot you want to set up.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be county-wide. It could be, district-wide, or just like a little, if you've got quite a lot of units in, like a couple of towns or something. Yeah,
because East Renfrewshire is a really small county area. I mean, you can drive from one side of it to the other in about half an hour. So it's quite easy for us to do the whole county at once, because we are really wee. We've got quite a lot of units, but it's quite wee. There's a few questions.
Some questions. Yeah. How easy is it to keep track of multiple orders?
The way we operate is that we have deadlines. So like the last one was I think it was like the 13th of November, like 8 o'clock on the Monday night. And so people just email. We've got a specific depot email address, and they've got to email in using the order form that way. So that just keeps it all in the one place for me, because I would lose stuff if it was all over the place and different things. So that one's okay. And it's just, I mean, we knew we wouldn't have enough capacity to be doing weekly, to be doing anything more than that. And so we've decided on deadlines and dates and things that work for us ourselves to be able to do that. So it just kind of works around what we're able to do.
Ours is a bit more looser, but I need to tighten it up because our leaders, as I said before, order via WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, email, text, so it's bringing them all together. So I tend to email myself all the orders so that I've got it in our depot email address, and then it's easier to keep track.
I would recommend that. Yeah, we've got generic depot address, and we only take orders through the email. So yes. Yeah, even if people phone up, I'll say, can you email us in? I like to have a written record, and that just keeps us right. So there was another question, who's responsible for deliveries and payments? So we've very much, our county treasurer is one of our depot volunteers, highly recommend getting your county treasurer involved. But that's how we do it. But you maybe, do you do it differently yourselves? Janet or Pauline?
I'm responsible for, I get the deliveries, sort the deliveries out, and then we put them to a central location, and then the leaders pick them up from a central location, and then I send out the invoices, get the payments. So I run the account basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're the same. My husband kind of does he's got a system that he uses to ping invoices out to people, and then we've got another person in our committee who checks them off on the bank account. We've got dual authorization to be able just to send the payments back to Scottish and check everything. And then for deliveries, because we are quite wee, and I live quite central within the county, a lot of people will just come to my house. Like I just kind of basically say, I ping out like, here's when I'm at home this week, to people, because I know them, like I know all the leaders that are coming to me. So it's not like I'm giving out information to people I don't know about when I'm at home and when I'm not at home. Or they can come to my unit on like a Wednesday night, because we've got 4 units back to back, so there's quite a long time they can come and collect that. But that works for us because we are small.
And I see it doesn't take a lot of time, and as you've probably heard, some people, you do as much as you can, like anything with Girl Guiding, do as much as you can and much as you enjoy. We have a team of about, I think possibly about 20 volunteers that run the Aberdeen ones, so that's a totally different setup. So we all share the time, and people just, some are volunteers just help once a month, and some are in every week, so it's very much what time you can give.
And I utilize my children as well to sort the things into the boxes and sort them into the bags.
We're just finding out from Grant if is there a list of existing depots. There is a list of certainly most of the depots on the Girl Guiding Scotland website under Scottish Networks, but absolutely, I think we'll be putting the email the Edinburgh shop email address up later, and they would be able to confirm with you if there was one in your area. But obviously, delighted if you would like to set one up in a new area, and if not, if there's already one, definitely I would recommend using it. We're not sure if there's a minimum order. I don't think so. I think there might be
I don't think there is, but Grant had just said in the private chat, but just to make it worth your while to cover the postage. So we've got a standard postage fee that we pay just for the orders across, which is about £5.25 or something along those lines.
£5, I think £5.50, I think it is per delivery.
So to make it worthwhile, but we easily go over that, even just with our wee unit, wee county.
Then we've got, is it easy to keep on top of accounts if leaders order frequently? It's not really applicable for us because we're paying, our customers are paying on site. What about yourselves? Any comments?
Usually we're okay, just we've got our kind of monthly thing coming in, and then whenever we still ask for the paper bank statements, because that just makes it an awful lot easier to then go through and check, and if anybody's outstanding, we just ping them a wee email just to remind them, and usually it's like, oh, sorry, I forgot, and then comes back through, and then we've got the invoice systems all on the computer, and we can just match things up afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do get to know your customers.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
even us, we know who everyone is.
Yeah.
And just to see one at the bottom, Donna's asked how kind of quickly can a depot be set up. Pauline, you're the newest, so you're perhaps
actually, once we actually got the ball rolling, it was fairly fast. There's a couple of wee form things to fill in, which you need to get a wee committee of people. But is it 1, 2, 3, 4 people? I think is the 5 people. We've got 5 people in ours. You need to have a wee meeting to kind of agree some things and then pop the forms back. I think we did that all via email. And then it's literally just because there's then like it's just the kind of the paperwork really thing to go with that. There's not really anything then that needs done. It's just, well, that's you. Here's the email address to order from, and then you just get going.
Great. It's been a while since we set up, so it's probably all changed anyway. And so I think we've answered all our questions there. And that takes us up. We were planning on this being half an hour, so I think we'll bring it to an end there. So thank you so much for the questions. Thank you to everyone who's joined us for the call. Thank you to Sarah in the background at SHQ for doing all the logistics. Thanks for Grant for joining us as well. And if you are, we'd love you to be, we'd love to get more depots. So if you are interested, there's an email address, Edinburgh Guide Shop at girlguiding-scot.org.uk. So give them a shout or just email someone at Girl Guiding Scotland the questions to get through. So, and thank you so much to Janet and Pauline for joining me on the call and helping tell you about all our experiences. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.